Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're taking a look at one of my most highly anticipated pieces, Sideshow's Toothless statue from the How to Train Your Dragon films. Let's see how it turned out. Alright, first up, let's take a look at that packaging. First of all, it's awesome. Second of all, look at it. It's covered in dragon scales. It's got this amazing motif of a Night Fury. I have no idea where the artwork comes from. I have no idea who conceptualized that, but it looks glorious. It's phenomenal. Once you couple that and overlay it with that dragon scale motif, it really says all that you need to say about what's going on with this piece. Now, I don't typically do this, but I'm going to show you what things look like in the box as you open it up with all the packaging materials. Look at how far Sideshow has gone to protect your piece here when it comes to you. That plastic bubble wrap over the wing, for instance, is going to protect it from rubbing from the styrofoam. Look at how carefully they've wrapped the tail with its awesome artificial, I don't even know what you would call it, the artificial wing that Hiccup gave to Toothless. Look at how delicate and how flexible those pieces are. I'm so nervous about getting this out of the box. There's so many things that could potentially break, and frankly, I'm just going to go for it. Let's just show you how to put this thing together. First of all, look at that base when you put it down. It's covered with foliage adorned stonework, and I think that it's glorious. It's one of the finest looking natural bases that Sideshow has done in recent memory. Be very cautious when taking this body out of the box. God, there's just so many things that are going to break. I just know something's going to happen here soon. There's one key that goes into a keyhole in the base. Now look at that. That is so clearly not all the way in. I'm a little hesitant, but I'm going to just wait a little bit. I'm going to get the tail in first. I just want to get everything put together before I try to make sure that it all fits flush. That's probably going to be a mistake. We'll see. The tail on my piece was more than a little bit stiff. I had to really take my time with getting it into there, and from this particular angle it didn't quite work. I had to eventually work my way around the other side and get it in there properly. As you're seeing here, you see that it's just ever so slightly out. Yeah, that little puff, that was me blowing away styrofoam. Anybody who's ever owned a statue from Sideshow, or anybody before, is probably used to having to deal with styrofoam chips. But yeah, just gently yet firmly find really safe places to put your fingers and apply force and get that thing all the way in. Boom. Not so hard as I thought it would be. Look at this portrait. My God, I love this character so much. Mostly because he reminds me of my dog Stewie, who unfortunately passed away recently, and also for other reasons. Look at those eyes, look at that face, look at everything about him. Okay, here we go, trying to get the... Holy crap, what the hell happened to my claw? Oh, how am I gonna find that ever? Okay, all right, just relaxing here. I did find the claw. It was just a simple glue thing. I replaced it and everything's gonna be fine. Nobody panic, everything's cool, we're all right here now. Having said that, you should probably just exercise extreme care when you're lowering the piece onto the base. Otherwise, your piece might suffer the same fate that mine did, and hell, nobody wants that, right? I was actually watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 the other day, which I think is probably my favorite of the two films. And my wife actually asked me what it was about the film that made me get so emotional, and I do get emotional at the How to Train Your Dragon films. She assumed that it had something to do with the fact that I lost both of my parents in fairly rapid succession. But it's less to do with that and more to do with the full circle nature of the story arc for the character of Hiccup and of his two parents. I grew up in the Midwest in the late 70s and early 80s, and I was taught by family and friends of family to distrust all things foreign, and that included gay people, black people, rock and roll. And like everyone around me, I did, right up to the point that I started actually getting out in the world and meeting people. And so it was that eventually I started learning that everything that I learned as a child was wrong. So when I look at Toothless, I see the embodiment of so many qualities of decent people that I was taught from an early age to hate. And I feel a particular kinship with Hiccup and his struggles to make all those around him view things from a different perspective. This statue will have a solitary place on a shelf so that I can be reminded of that. Hope you enjoyed the review. Until next time, take care and be good to your plastic.